Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm Office Bloke Aidan.
I'm G.
I'm Sophie.
Today we're looking at the ocean is way deeper than you think. Always.
I actually read on the back of a Snapple cap that the deepest part of the ocean,
Right.
if you had,
Is that what, the Mariana Trench?
I'm not sure,
I might be wrong, it might be that, I'm not sure.
but it said that you could, I think it was 100 not double decker, jumbo jets on top of each other and you still wouldn't reach the top.
Like, from like bottom to top or like from front to back type thing, so they're like facing upwards.
Deep. So if they were all on top of each other.
Ah.
But like, how were they on top of each other? Like lying flat or vertically?
I think vertically.
Yeah, because you would have named something else to. Do you know what I mean? If you were doing that.
Yeah,
distance.
I think. Yeah.
Probably from like the nose to the tail.
Maybe. I just remember reading it on the back of a Snapple cap anyway.
I'm pretty sure there's. What's the percentages of how much we've actually
Covered, like
discovered?
probably 1%.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure it's. I think it might be something like 5% that we might be even lower than that, but that we've only actually discovered.
Yeah.
Cause it's scary. Like the ocean actually like freaks me out.
Does it?
Yeah.
Could you not swim in like deep waters?
No, it literally terrifies me. I'm not even joking.
Oh,
like
really?
them things, like because it's like all them things you don't know what's down there, and
Well, there could be anything in there.
there could be anything, right? You don't know what's down there, and like them fish that are like. They look a bit like puffer fish, but they've got like a little like light bulb. It was on like SpongeBob or something as a kid, and it freaked me out. Yeah, they actually have these like
there's some weird
light
things
bulbs,
down there.
and like it'll attract other like smaller fish, and then like they'll eat them and stuff.
No, have you seen them
Oh,
ones
I
that are
find it
literally like on
fascinating.
the bed of the sea, like right at the bottom, and they just blend in with the bottom of the sea, and then when a fish like swims past them, they just jump up and eat
That's
them.
what I mean.
Grandma
scary.
went scuba diving in Barbados years and years ago, and they put the tanks on and everything. She had to roll off the back of the boat, and they've obviously not got her weight right, because when she went over, she said everybody else was like scuba diving through the fish and she was just on the bottom walking.
Really?
She said, and she kept going like bending down to try and jump up and just
went back down.
In the end they had to come down and save her and take her back up
I
again.
would have thought I wish she'd get out. That's mad. Yeah. Let's watch this video though, because I think it's going to amaze us. It's going to be quite fascinating.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
The ocean is really, really deep. Deeper, in fact, than most of us realize. If you were to shave off all of the land from the tops of every continent and island in the world and fill up the ocean's deepest points with that land, then the entire Earth would be covered in an ocean 2 miles deep. 3/4 of our planet is already covered in water, though, and it goes a lot deeper than just 2 miles. Let's start with a sense of scale. This dot right here is the size of an average human. This slightly larger dot is the size of an elephant, and this is the size of the largest ship ever built, the Knock Nevis.
Big
With
ship.
that in mind, let's start going underwater and see what we find out. The first milestone is at 40 meters below the surface, which is the maximum depth allowed for recreational scuba diving. A little further down at 93 meters is where the wreck of the Lusitania was discovered, which is interesting because the Lusitania itself is 240 meters long, which means that it sank in water shallower than it is long, so if the ship was standing on its stern or bow, it would be sticking out of the water. Just slightly deeper than that, at 100 meters, is where diving can become seriously fatal if you're not careful because of decompression sickness. But that didn't stop a man named Herbert Nitsch to accomplish the free diving world record at a depth of 214 meters. This guy swam down to this level with just one...
I thought that once you got down a certain level you get the bends, which makes you disorientated.
This guy's obviously been practicing it or something.
I was going to say he must have been doing something to...
Because the pressure impacts like your
all
whole
your organs.
Yeah,
Like, I can't even go
compresses
to the
you,
bottom of a 25 metre pool without, like...
Getting a fizzy nose.
Without getting, like, mad...
Yeah, your ears
ears
popped
pop.
out. Yeah. Mad. Oh my god.
One single breath. But a little further down at 332 meters, we have the scuba diving world record, which was accomplished by another man named Ahmed Gabir. If he had swam down another 111 meters, then he would have reached the height of the Empire State Building if it was submerged underwater. And a little further than that, at 500 meters below the surface, we arrive at the maximum dive depth of blue whales, the largest creatures on the planet and also the limit of the US Seawolf class nuclear submarine. At 535 meters, we can witness the maximum dive depth of emperor penguins, and this is when we must bring up the intensity of water pressure. At this level below the surface, the water pressure exerted on a person, or the penguins, would be roughly equivalent to a polar bear standing on a quarter. So further down the depths, at 830 meters, would be the height of the Burj Khalifa in Dubai, the tallest building in the world. Once we hit 1,000 meters below the surface, we begin to enter the scary zone. Light from the surface can no longer reach beyond this point, so the rest of the ocean below is shrouded in permanent darkness. On top of that, the water pressure you would experience at this point would be about the same as if you were standing on the surface of the planet Venus, meaning that you would die very quickly. You would also meet the giant squid at this sea level if the water pressure didn't already kill you. At 1,280 meters, we reach the maximum depth dived to by the leatherback sea turtle, and further down at 1,828 meters, we would reach the deepest part of the Grand Canyon were it to be underwater with us. Down at 2,000 meters, we start to encounter some of the more terrifying sea creatures, like the ominously named black dragonfish, a carnivorous beast with a stomach that doesn't allow light to be emitted through it, meaning...
So these animals that live this far down just live in black?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, obviously we never get to see them because we never get that deep.
Mm-hmm. So we don't really know what's
We don't really know what's down at 4,000 metres. What's down there?
You might tell us, but how does he know? How does he know?
That since we're in total darkness underwater at this point, the only way you would ever see this thing is with a flashlight.
That's it. It has like a thing hanging off it.
Is that what you were talking about?
I think so.
We would reach the maximum depth dived to by both sperm whales and the very frightening colossal...
I think you'll be alright then, Soph. I don't think you're going 2,000 metres deep. You know what I mean?
I'm not even going 3 meters deep.
Squid. Sperm whales often have sucker marks and scars left on their bodies from battles with a colossal squid that likely take place at these incredible depths. The squids themselves can grow to be 14 meters long and weigh up to 750 kilograms with eyes the size of a dinner plate and razor-sharp sickles in the middle of their tentacles. So yeah, good luck with that down there. Way further down at 3,800 meters we can find the wreck of the RMS Titanic. And a bit past that, at 4,000 meters, we start to enter the abyssal zone of the ocean. Water pressure is at an astonishing 11,000 pounds per square inch down here, and there are numerous strange, almost alien-like creatures that inhabit these depths, such as the fangtooth, anglerfish, and viperfish.
That might be
Down
what I
at
was on about.
4,267 meters is the average depth.
Just go back a bit.
That's when they look like something from like a horror film.
Why do they look so ugly?
Yeah. Because like as well, like the
They might say the same about you, Gaynor.
But I don't understand why the.
I think because it's so dark as well down there, like their eyes, like their eyes look glazed over, don't they, to clearly see in the dark.
And obviously they can't see to brush their teeth.
But like even look at the teeth, they're like so sharp and
Yeah.
They're not connecting you. They need braces.
Oh, it's horrific. It scares me.
That is.
Do you know what
scary,
I mean?
Yeah.
Oh.
Down at 4,267 meters is the average depth of the ocean where you would normally expect to hit the floor, but there are parts of the ocean that go significantly deeper than even this. At 4,791 meters rests the wreckage of the battleship Bismarck sunk during World War II, and way down at 6,000 meters is the beginning of the Hadal Zone, named after the underworld Hades itself. The water pressure down at these depths can become 1,100 times what you would experience way back on top at the surface, which is roughly equal to an elephant balancing on a postage stamp or a single person carrying the weight of 50 Boeing 747 jumbo jets. Down at these depths, you would be crushed immediately without any outside protection, but life still exists down here in various strange forms. At 6,500 meters, we reach the maximum depth that the DSV Alvin can dive to, a popular research submarine that helped to discover the Titanic. Way further down...
I was going to say, how was he, like, knowing all this? You could just send cameras
thing.
or, like, camera submarines down and stuff. Because he was, like, showing a photo of a ship that was 4,000 metres deep and he showed a photo of it.
Yeah. But how do they send machinery down there? Because obviously of the pressure, and that looks like a little thing, doesn't it?
It probably wasn't actual size, but they'll figure that one out. All the scientists.
People way smarter than I'll ever be.
They're doing things that we didn't even imagine. You know what I mean?
Down at 8,848 meters below the surface, and we have arrived at the height of Mount Everest, where it to be upside down and placed underwater. And then, way further past even that, at 10,898 meters, we arrive at the depth reached by James Cameron in 2012 during the Deep Sea Challenger mission.
Whoa.
The deepest point in the ocean
James
yet
Cameron?
reached by humans was back in 1960, when two men named Don Walsh and Jacques Piccard reached a depth of 10,916 meters using their Trieste submarine. It took them 5 hours to descend through the ocean.
That's mad.
So like, what, 52 years difference between that James Cameron and these two? Like, how have they got further down in 1960 with the technology that we had in 2012? How has he not got as far?
Maybe they died.
Oh.
Maybe that's why.
That's insane, though.
But if they died, would anyone really know how deep they actually got?
Well, if they had something that's recording it.
Yeah, I guess.
That's insane.
How are you going that deep? That's mad. How long would it how long it would take to get down there?
Oh. And how scary it'd be as well. Like, honestly, it'd literally I think I'd actually have like a panic attack. It'd freak me out. Like, there not being like no one else there and not knowing what's around you and you can't see anything.
You're hyperventilating just watching this.
Yeah, no, I hate it.
And they only stayed for 20 minutes before a window cracked and they began to resurface. Just a bit further down from there at 10,972 meters, and we reached the average flight altitude of a commercial airliner. So if you've ever looked out of a window while on a flight and looked down to the ground, that's a very good sense of how incredibly deep down into the abyss that we are currently at. Finally, when we hit 10,994 meters, we have hit the bottom of the known ocean called the Challenger Deep, right here on this map just about 300 kilometers southwest of Guam Island. However, it is believed that there are almost certainly even deeper parts of the ocean than this that just haven't been discovered yet. It wasn't until 1997, after all, that the Sirena Deep was discovered with a depth of 10,732 meters, making it the second deepest known point in the ocean. It is estimated...
Yeah, that's what it was, not the Mariana Trench. Got them mixed up with the Challenger Deep. That's the deepest part of the ocean, isn't
it? Was, remember when that aircraft just fell out of the sky and they never found anybody?
The MH7, was it MH7?
Yeah. And
I watched something about it recently. Yeah.
And that was the thing where I seen that at that point where the aircraft's gone down, that's the what they think is the deepest part of the ocean.
Oh, really?
And so if the aircraft has gone into there, it would have disintegrated from the pressure.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it explains it, doesn't it? Why we never found it.
Yeah.
Estimated that only about 5% of the ocean's floor has been accurately mapped, leaving the other 95% to be currently a mystery. It may be only a matter of time before an even deeper part of our ocean is found, and who knows what we may discover there.
So how deep do you have to go for mermaids?
The ocean is...
that's a very good point.
It is, isn't it?
You can only imagine that they've just not been discovered yet like that.
Yeah, I think so.
It's my only thought.
The only explanation as to why.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, I don't usually swim in the ocean like that, to be honest, because I don't like this. I don't like the beach.
I'm not a fan of the ocean. But
I'd always rather swim in a pool.
One of the funniest things I seen was when we were in Thailand, and there was loads of people that had gone out into the ocean, and they were advised not to because the riptide underneath was quite strong. But I was reading my book and I was on the beach, and I was, what are you laughing at, me reading a book?
No, I'm laughing at... I remember in Thailand when I got dragged under the rope from this tide.
Yeah. So
I was almost drowning.
So I could see that there was this guy obviously struggling in the ocean. He was swimming, and the tide was dragging him over bit by bit towards these like huge rocks, and I'm watching thinking, if he gets near them rocks, then that's it. He's gonna die. And eventually this wave comes, and I just see this guy swing with the wave, and he like literally comes onto the beach. He's like couldn't breathe, and I was like, that poor man, he nearly died. Then I realised it was Darren.
What?
It was,
He comes walking over, he was like, I nearly died then. I'm like, oh, I've seen you.
What hasn't Darren done? I love it.
I don't know why he doesn't to himself. He can't even swim.
I know.
No, the same happened to me in Thailand when like the tide was coming in really strong, and my like I don't know what got like my leg or my arm got tangled up. You know like how you have the ropes that go around to the like section of where you should swim. You should go past these points. I got literally tangled up in one of them ropes underwater. And I was literally like, I didn't know, like, I kept going further, like, the
you just
water
there, like,
just kept coming. I was just underwater for like a solid 40 seconds with the water keep coming and me tangled under this rope until I finally got out.
Did no one come and help you?
Oh no, I was on my own. Mum was reading a book. And Dad was fucking drowning himself. Yeah, anyway, that was a good video. That was quite interesting.
Yeah.
Hopefully you enjoyed that as well. If you did, please hit the like and subscribe button and we'll catch you in the next one.
Bye.
Cheers.
Bye.